Good evening, everyone. Let me quickly check if everything's working fine. Um, okay, let me figure out the chat. If you're able to hear me clearly, I have also shared my screen. You should be able to see me as well. Um, can I have a quick confirmations in the chat box? Perfect. Great. Thank you. Let's get to the work. What a move. Okay. Chaliye, let's make this as simple as possible. We'll break it down in few granular parts. Okay. So that we come to some kind of a conclusion, as in how we should position ourselves, what should be our strategy going forward now that we've had a pretty sharp sell-off. But uske pehle, I want to ask you a question, and that is this one. Please quickly tell me, do you personally think that the market has topped out in the long term? By long term, I mean around 15 to 20% Nifty correction. Minimum two-digit correction Nifty ka. We are not talking about 3, 5, 6% correction. So no has an edge as of now. The polls are still coming in. I will give it a 30-second more, and then apne ko thoda sa clarity ho jayega that what does the house think. It's still no, so maybe people are still little more bullish, and I think I can give 10 more seconds, 1 minute to the poll. It's mainly no now, 66% no, 65%. All right, 1 minute done for the poll. So it's around 64% and 36%. So you think that the market has not yet topped out in the long term. Okay, thank you for that. Chaliye, let's try and understand what are the charts telling us. Now, those who know me, you know that I look at the markets only through the lens of price. And those who don't know me, I look at the market only through the lens of price. So charts are ultimate for me. I love to trade and take decision based on Heikin-Ashi candles, and exactly, in fact, Heikin-Ashi is a very important part of our program. But for this discussion, जो हम लोग आज शाम को करने वाले, I'm going to keep it simple. Okay, मैं Heikin-Ashi पे नहीं जाऊंगा. I'm going to look at the bar charts or the candlesticks. I love the bar charts also. And let's break it down. एक एक करके तोड़ते हैं इस correction को and समझने का कोशिश करते हैं that has the market really topped out or not. First thing that I will do is on the bar chart, I can clearly see that the market has fallen continuously for 4 trading sessions. I will now drop an info line from the highest point to the lowest point, and I will check the extent of the correction. And the info line is telling me it's a 1060 point correction, high to low, okay? It's a 1060 point correction, 4% in 3 days. It's counting these 3 days. So we've got a 4% correction. We've lost 1000 points from the Nifty, and it's come straight one way, 4 days back to back. Out of this entire correction, 1000 points, the majority of the damage was done today, and this was, I think, Monday, right? Or Tuesday. Wednesday we had a holiday. So this is the extent of the move. We'll come back. Now, sticking to the daily chart, staying on the daily charts, we do not really see any significant huge volumes per se. Just volumes, now this is Nifty spot. It won't be right for me to open up Nifty spot's volume. I'm more interested to show you Nifty futures volumes over here. And today's volumes were slightly higher, but what I'm trying to say is that volumes are not out of proportion. They're not like extraordinarily huge. Okay. Next point. When the market was at the top, 26,200 के जब ऊपर था यहाँ पे 4 दिन पहले, was there any technical signs which was telling us that the market can correct? In terms of bar language, no. In terms of if I bring in my momentum indicators or RSI or anything, to be honest, on the daily chart, no. As I told you, I use Heikin-Ashi, and Heikin-Ashi also gives us very good confirmations of the price. And Teak is top pay. Heikin-Ashi also was fairly strong. Daily chart did not give us any clue. Price did not give us any clue 4 days back that आगे जाके 1060 पॉइंट का करेक्शन होने वाला है. Sorry, नहीं था. If I go to the weekly and ask the same question, last week, was there any signs from the Heikin-Ashi? No. From the bar chart, if you take a look at and if you find some divergence and all, not really. It was making a newer high. Momentum indicators were kind of all right. The signs were not very strong. Trend is still very strong. I have a 52-week linear regression line. It's sloping up. So weekly chart was strong. एक time frame और ऊपर जाते हैं. Come to the monthly chart. Was the monthly chart giving us any such indication? No. Was there any kind of a divergence? No. Momentum indicators are actually beautiful. What about Heikin-Ashi? Was Heikin-Ashi slowing down? Not really. So, 4-5 दिन पहले, and I had mentioned this in my weekly videos. Those who follow me in my YouTube channel, you would know that I think last weekend का जो मैंने video बनाया था, that it was, I think, fine sectoral rotation, ऐसा कुछ नाम दिया था मैंने उस weekly video का. There was, honestly, as a technical analyst or a technical trader, looking at the monthly or the weekly or the daily chart, there was no as such signs right at the top that immediately the market will fall 1,060 points. Okay. See, there are two types in which we should approach this. One type is जहां पे market एक पहले से एक setup बनाता है. For example, the price is going up, the momentum indicators are coming down. इसको हम लोग divergence बुलाते हैं. We have to be little careful. Maybe the Heikin-Ashi has given us a red HAGB, or let's say the candlestick chart has given something which will help us to preempt the move. हम लोग predict कर पाएंगे कि हाँ यार यहाँ से market गिर सकता है. The other one was without any such strong signal, the market reacts and comes down. अब हमें preempt करने का मौका मिला ही नहीं, तो now we have to be slightly reactive. अभी अपने को react करना पड़ेगा after the fall has already happened. Okay, now we are in the second category. So, sticking to the daily chart पे ही रहते हैं, bar chart पे चला जाता हूँ. Do we have a short-term top? Question number 1. I would say yes, we have a short-term top. अगर मैं बोलूँगा नहीं तो आप लोग मुझे पीटोगे, isn't it? So, yes, we have a short-term top in place. I have plotted a fractal. मैंने यहाँ पे एक fractal drop करके रखा है. Bill Williams fractal concept. In fact, मैंने कल ही I think एक video launch किया था fractals के ऊपर. 2 दिन बाएं तरफ lower high, 2 दिन on the right hand side lower high. We have a fractal top. This is a fractal high. We will consider this as a short-term top. Fine. Short-term EMAs are sloping down. Short-term momentum readings are sloping down. Range is expanding. So we have a short-term top in place. We have no confusion whatsoever. The short-term trend of the market, इसको हम लोग daily chart से design कर रहे हैं. What is the short-term? The daily chart we are concluding as a short-term has come down. Before we find some supports or कहाँ तक गिर सकता है, what about the weekly charts? Do we have a fractal top yet यहाँ पे? No. So can we say that the intermediate trend has turned down? No. Look at the beautiful slope of the 52-week linear regression line. It's beautiful. This is, I think, 21 week. I'm changing the daily chart. This is a 21 week linear regression. Let me cross check before I can. Yes, this is 21 week. Look at the monthly chart. Do we have a fractal top? Not yet. This is a 21 month, almost 2 saal ka linear regression. Beautiful rally after this huge consolidation. So I will go by your answers in the poll that I raised some time back. Okay, long term top अभी as of now हो सकता है, वैसा साइंस नहीं है. इसका एक डाउन साइड है कि यार सर जब तक आपको साइन मिलेगा तब तक तो और 4-6% करेक्शन हो जाएगा. पॉसिबल, इट्स पॉसिबल, आई डू नॉट डिनाई दैट. But as technical analysts, as traders who take decision based on price behavior, price is my ultimate indicator. Price is everything for me. I just cannot take decisions and analyze based on what I feel or what I think. I have to think and feel based on what I see. So what I see, long-term charts are still fine. What I see, the intermediate charts are still fine. And what I see, that the daily charts have come down and the short-term trend has reversed. Okay. What are the chances? अच्छा, इसके पहले एक छोटा सा ट्विस्ट. Now, 2-3 pointers. As pure technical analyst, we would not like to infuse or include news or events to it, but they are important. We cannot 100% ignore them. So let's say the 2 events. One, our regulator making derivatives trading difficult. That might impact the volumes. 2, geopolitical tensions and the war going on with Iran, Israel, and I don't know how far it will go. Impact on crude, how the other nations will look at it. The US politics is also very much pretty hot. Now, in my personal experience, a negative news or a negative event generally doesn't make a top. मैं फिर से रिपीट करता हूं कि टॉप पे एक नेगेटिव न्यूज ट्रेंड रिवर्स जनरली नहीं करता है. इट डज नॉट. Generally, the negative news comes generally much later. Now, this is not 100% sacrosanct, but मैंने कभी मार्केट, एक बुल मार्केट का टॉप पे एक नेगेटिव न्यूज आया और बुल मार्केट खत्म हो गया, एटलीस्ट मैंने नहीं देखा. 2008, the first leg of fall was around 33% in 11 days. Then slowly, the news started coming out, and the majority of the damage was done in October 2008. Market topped out in the first week of Jan 2008, and a crazy sell-off happened in October 2008. Beach mein there were legs of sell. So, in terms of the events also, I personally do not think that the regulator move will have a huge impact in a knee-jerk reaction that we can see, or the volumes, etc. That will not change the fundamental spine of the market or the fundamental position of the economy per se. It's more from a point of view of trading and traders' involvement. वो बाजार को, economy को, rate of growth को, I don't think so will have a direct impact. Number one. The war can have ripple effects. I'm not an expert in this, but yes, small sparks can lead to big fires. We all know that. We have to keep an eye on it, and we have to position ourselves accordingly. Okay? So, one point we covered is the short-term trend has reversed down. The intermediate and long-term charts are still intact. Number one. Now we will come to the daily chart and try to find out that where can we expect some support. Where can we expect some support ke pehle? I would like to take a look at the recent, let's say, this was, I think, the Indian election result crazy day. उसको छोड़ के अगर हम लोग, if we focus on this correction, this sharp correction, ये तो बहुत छोटा था, and this one. If I just quickly take a look at these corrections on the daily chart, this is a daily chart. ये जो करेक्शन था हाई टू लो बेसिस 3.2% का था. इसके बाद का जो करेक्शन था हाई टू लो बेसिस 4.7%, ऑलमोस्ट 1200 पॉइंट्स का था. उसमें एक शार्प गैप डाउन भी था. और द थर्ड करेक्शन दैट वी आर ट्राइंग टू इवैल्यूएट एक 2.3% का 600 पॉइंट का करेक्शन. करंटली वी आर एट 1000 पॉइंट्स, 1060. सो ठीक है, it's more or less little higher than these corrections and more or less close to this correction. As of now, we can say it's a natural correction as of now. No problem. In fact, to understand this better, we should go to the weekly charts. Now, let's say, and isko, I think to do this, I will go to the Nifty futures chart. I will use the futures chart here. The point that I'm trying to make is, सोचिए ये जो शॉर्ट टर्म 1060 पॉइंट्स का करेक्शन के बीच हम लोग बैठे हैं. इफ दिस करेक्शन लीड्स टू अ लार्जर करेक्शन, व्हाट कैन बी द लेवल्स टू वॉच फॉर? ठीक है. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल मार्क द जोन, द लास्ट जोन where the market had created a pretty beautiful consolidation, जिसको उसने बेस बना के it went up. This was the last zone. Breakout, throwback, rally, correction, all-time high, etc., etc., etc. In this entire move, if you allow me, I can spend couple of minutes to plot some anchored VWAPs. ये VWAP को थोड़ा crazy कर दिया, this election day thing. ये सब highs lows को आपको ignore करना पड़ेगा. This was too extreme. If you allow me, I can quickly drop a volume profile also to the entire rally. I'm drawing some simple tools of anchored VWAP, volume profile, considering this as a very important low, a fractal low with two fractals on the either side, and looks decent. Point of control comes to around 24,650, 25,000 के थोड़ा सा नीचे. Remember, we are doing this analysis on the weekly chart, on the weekly chart. तो सोचिए अगर 25 के नीचे अगर ये बाजार आता भी है, then at that level, सोचिए अगर point of control पे आता है, if it comes to point of control, then we are looking at a 7% correction, a 2000 point correction, which I will still say does not make a huge impact to the overall trend of the market. Still, it does not. It depends on how you look at it, but it does not make a huge impact. 25 ke niche, of course, if really things go bad, then one can definitely has to pay respect to this upper border of the channel of the zone. And then at that point of time, हम लोग बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं. हम लोग important fractal lows से anchored VWAPs, volume profiles, congestion, थोड़ा बहुत Fibonacci, बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है at that point of time to figure out कहाँ पे zones of support निकल के आ सकता है. As of now, today evening, you and me, we will say this 4% correction can become a 7.5% correction. It can tease the psychological 25,000 mark और 24,500 550 के आसपास आ सकता है. यहाँ तक ठीक है. Let's not scare ourselves unnecessarily. ठीक है. Now, this analysis we did on the weekly time frame. Now, I will remove these because I'm on the daily chart. Back to the daily chart. Now, what I want to tell you is what should be your strategy. And for that, it is extremely important to figure out who are we actually in the market. For example, those who are very new to the market, let's say less than 1 year, they are mostly pampered because उनको ज़्यादातर ही बहुत अच्छे bull markets behavior दिखा है, and they will be worried by a 500 point down Nifty. Probably उन्होंने frequently नहीं देखा, election दिन को हटा देता हूँ, budget दिन ये सब. So on a natural day, they have not seen an 800 point correction in a matter of 2 days. So they will be worried. If you are one of them, आपको थोड़ा सा probably डर लग रहा है. Then there's someone probably who's been, let's say, post-COVID you've entered. Okay, you, let's say, quote unquote, you're a COVID trader. Again, you are pampered because you have mostly seen uptrending markets, and आपने जो corrections देखा है वो 7-8%, 3-3.5% उसी range में है. Barring the exceptional elections and budget, उनको मैं हटा. So you should be okay with it because ऐसे आपने देखा है. It's not that you have not seen this, and so your poll answer would be no, this is not a long-term top. ठीक है. And then you could be one person जिन्होंने अच्छे खासे पहले bear markets देखे, bull markets भी देखा है, and you are going to tell yourself that ये ऊपर नीचे corrections and rally होते रहता है. The most important thing is what is my strategy and what the hell am I going to do? मेरा strategy क्या है? If I am holding a long-term portfolio, what will I do? My focus is not on what the market will do. My focus is what will I do with the market. So try to slowly mature towards that mental frame जहां पे बाजार 500 पॉइंट गिर सकता है, 750 पॉइंट का कल रैली भी आ सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's your focus that what are you going to do with your positions. So for that, now I will talk about a bit about the supports and उन supports पे क्या खरीदना चाहिए, कैसे खरीदना चाहिए, and I'll ask you another question in some time. So in terms of Heiken-Ashi, this chart has moved into a downtrend in terms of Heiken-Ashi's language. My EMAs have started to angle down, and all these are telling me first cut. You know, a complex correction hota hai, simple correction hota hai. I hope you understand what is complex correction simple. So when the market is in an uptrend, it doesn't go up in a straight line. It goes up in a zigzag manner, correct? When it's going up, you will see that the corrections are just 1 or 2 or 3 days, and it goes further up. These are simple corrections. I call them simple corrections. And then there can be corrections where the corrections are A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. Multi-legged correction. वो 2 leg हो सकता है, 4-5 legs हो सकता है. These I like to call them complex corrections. If we take a look at the market and its behavior, mostly what we have seen in the past, in the recent past, are simple corrections only. इसको ignore करना चाहिए. This was the election. One way simple correction. This was a bit of a complex. This was a good complex correction. ये रहा. एक ढंग का complex correction. First leg गिराता है, pull back देता है, next leg गिराता है. This. When was this? This was Jan. अच्छा एक बार देख ही लेते that in Jan when this correction came, how much did you fall on a high to low basis? You fell around 1,000 points. By the way, your 1,000 points was on a base of 22, 23,000. And now on a 26,000. Okay? On a percentage wise, it's 4.25%. More or less how much we have corrected now. So, Heiken-Ashi has just turned negative. The trend is just angling down. The most important thing that I personally will look forward to is the pullback. Pullback to आएगा ही. Is the pullback. And whatever the pullback takes shape, so एक candle ऐसे करके pullback देता है. याद रखिएगा, that is your pullback bar. Pullback bar. अब वो 1 दिन का हो सकता है, 2-3 दिन का हो सकता है. Whenever you get this pullback, it can be tomorrow, it can be next week. The pullback bar's lows are going to be very important. Because the break of the pullback bar's low opens the possibility of a retest and an ABC kind of a correction. So if you are into derivatives, if you short futures or create options, I would suggest not to short the market now at this juncture. You should wait for pullbacks. And if those pullback lows are breached, you should, if you're a derivatives trader. Okay. अब आते हैं लॉन्ग ओनली कैश ट्रेडर्स, दैट इज यू ओनली बाय एंड ट्रेड. नंबर वन सजेशन, कुछ मत कीजिए, डू नथिंग राइट नाउ, टेक अ ब्रेक. इनफैक्ट ब्रेक से याद आया, आई एम टेकिंग अ ब्रेक. ये मैंने प्लान 6 महीने पहले बनाया था, 5 महीने पहले बनाया था, बट टाइमिंग बहुत अच्छा निकला. इट्स एन आइडियल टाइम टू टेक अ ब्रेक. सो नेक्स्ट वीक, एंटायर नेक्स्ट वीक आई एम ऑफ द ग्रिड, मैं हूं ही नहीं. तो लॉन्ग ओनली ट्रेडर, टेक अ ब्रेक. ओके, डू सम होमवर्क. I will do it with you right now in some time. Sectoral homework, your stock picks, find some good supports. All S से निकल के आ रहे हैं, sector, stocks, supports. Allocate some capital, अलग से हटा के रखिए. उस कैपिटल को 3 भाग में तोड़िए, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And जब supports पे आता है, those quality names, you can start accumulating them, those which you find really good in your long-term portfolio. Short-term traders, take a break. At least tomorrow you take a break. You'll see tomorrow what happens day after. ठीक है, थोड़ा सपोज रेजिस्टेंस पे बात कर लेता हूं, एंड देन सपोज पे बात कर लेता हूं फ्रॉम द डेली चार्ट, एंड देन आई विल आस्क यू अनदर क्वेश्चन. Concept of polarity. I don't know if you have heard about the concept of polarity. It's a classic concept. कि अगर मार्केट एक हाई बनाता है, if the market makes a high, और फ्यूचर में जब वो हाई तोड़ता है, करेक्ट, जो पहले रेजिस्टेंस हुआ करता था, that should in the future, not should, could, it can become a source of support. So अगर मैं इस ट्रेडिंग व्यू स्क्रीन पे एक रेक्टेंगल ड्रॉ करता हूं in this zone like this, so this breakout point, this resistance, which is a decent resistance, can, not should, can act as a source of support. Now looking at the fierce behavior of the selling momentum, मुझे तो लगता नहीं है यहां पे ये रुकेगा. I can get some clarity if I drop down to smaller time frame. आपको 75 मिनट के आसपास दिखेगा, there was a range bound behavior, लगता नहीं है. If I drop down further to 25 minute time frame, then मुझे दिख रहा है यहाँ पे तो कल एक बाउंस बैक आ सकता है. There's a high chance tomorrow morning you're going to get a bounce back. ये मेरा 25 मिनट चार्ट ये बोल रहा है, बट वो 25 मिनट चार्ट का बाउंस बैक तो छोटा ही होगा, राइट? We are not discussing intraday gyrations here. We are not interested. So from a short-term point of view, I think what we figured out from the weekly chart, that the Nifty can come down to tease and test that psychological 25,000 mark. उसको mark करके रखिए, which is this low. This is a possibility. This is a high possibility. We have found some good levels from the weekly time frame. And जैसे price behave करेगा, वैसे we can drop some levels and we can find. As of now, जो long only traders हैं, I would request and suggest, start doing your homework. Do not trade unless you are like me. You want to buy ETFs and index funds when the markets crashes and RSI is oversold, short-term RSI blindly खरीद लीजिए. That is fine. वो तो आप करेंगे. Definitely you should do. If you've been a part of any of my programs, you know I strongly suggest कि जब भी आपको any corrections to the tune of 5 to 10%, 8% you get, especially if you take a look at the weekly charts, you should have a long-term index portfolio. वो index funds, mutual fund हो सकता है. It can be an exchange traded fund. I have been a big, let's say, follower, fan of the ETF portfolio, and I love to create, add on to my portfolio using the ETFs. उसको छोड़ के long only cash traders, थोड़ा ठंड लीजिए. Don't do anything tomorrow. Get some homework done. I will do some homework with you right now in the next 10-15 minutes. But उसके पहले, as I told you, I'll ask you a question. Poll question number 2. किधर है? Yes, इसका आंसर तो मैंने कुछ हद तक दे दिया है, but please launch the poll. Will you start buying stocks for your cash portfolio in this correction? As in, will you start now, right now? कुछ हद तक तो आंसर मैंने ही दे दिया है, so I think you will shy away from it. But nevertheless, No, yes, no, yes. Almost 59%, 41%. We'll give them 1 minute to this poll and then we'll quickly figure out कि अगर खरीदना है तो कहाँ खरीदना चाहिए, if at all. Okay. Um, I saw a very crazy comment in the chat box, in the question box. Your questions towards the end of the discussion. 1 minute over, 2 seconds to go, and we are done. 50-50, 55-45. End poll. No says 54%, yes says 46%. So it's a divided house. Let's do some homework. ठीक है, चलिए थोड़ा सा काम करते हैं. Now, corrections means prices have come down. Those, see, markets are driven by institutions. ठीक है, FII हो, DII हो, a lot of them, a majority of them, if not almost all of them, barring the quants or the algo funds on the prop desk, etc., most of them will take a decision based on the fundamentals, valuations. Price will cool off and at times give big moves on either side and eventually revert back to mean. बहुत अगर वैल्यूएशन से वो निकल जाता है ऊपर तो वो थोड़ा नीचे आएगा और जब अंडर वैल्यू हो जाता है फिर वो रिवर्ट बैक टू मीन होगा. सो प्राइसेस का बिहेवियर अपने मोर और लेस वैल्यूएशन से ऊपर नीचे होते रहता है and it will come close to it will come to peace with the valuation. So corrections are opportunities from a buyer's point of view. Definitely. The point is, हम ना market को time करना चाहते हैं. As in, we will want to buy at the bottom. That is not a very smart thing to do. What we should do, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, do the homework, identify the sector, maybe some stocks, levels, and one third करके तोड़ के रखिए अपने capital. Let's take an example. What will I do is I will take you to my sectoral screens. Again, if you follow me on my YouTube channel, I share some videos. Weekend mein hamesha I share my market views, sectoral rotations, all these things I discuss. So this is the CNX 500 mid cap and the small cap. Oh, by the way, I completely missed out sharing something very interesting. That is, if you look at the Nifty's correction today, 2%, small, mid cap and CNX 500 almost 2% each. ये मुझे थोड़ा सा ताज्जुब लग रहा है. You know why? Because I was of the opinion, the charts were at least telling me that the small cap has weakened quite a bit. Small cap ने मुझे एक sell signal दे दिया था. If you follow my YouTube videos, you will know the last I think 2 या 3 हफ्ते से मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ कि small cap थक रहा है, small cap थक रहा है. I was of the expectation कि if the market falls, small cap जोड़ का तोड़ेगा. But as of now, आज तो at least नहीं हुआ. It has not happened today. Today's selling is fairly broad-based. Fairly broad-based. In terms of sectors, अगर बात करें, so realty was the biggest hit. Pharma was the least hit. Metal was showing strength today morning. If you track markets, Tata Steel, JSW, a lot of stocks were showing strength. PSU Bank already बहुत नीचे आ चुका है over the last, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. So it's consolidating. FMCG, IT. And of course, all of them are deeply in the red. Now, what I would like to, share with you is grid पे आते हैं. If you're familiar with this grid, then you know what it is. But मैं आपको quickly समझा देता हूँ. देखिए, ये मेरा मेन स्क्रीन है निफ्टी कोई भी चार्ट एनालाइज करने के लिए. उसके बाद का जो टेम्पलेट है उसमें मैंने CNX 500 मिड कैप स्मॉल कैप डाल के रखा है, ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स. उसके बाद आता है सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्टर, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉकेट ऑफ द मार्केट, वो कौन सा है? 40% वेटेज खाता है बैंक निफ्टी, फाइनेंस, प्राइवेट बैंक्स, पीएसयू बैंक। और उसके बाद रह गया आईटी, एनर्जी, एफएमसीजी, ऑटो, फार्मा, मेटल, कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स, रियल्टी। और इसी क्लॉकवाइज मैनर में इनके वेटेजेस है। बैंक फाइनेंशियल्स के बाद सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट वेटेज किसका आता है? आईटी का आता है, उसके बाद एनर्जी का आता है, उसके बाद एफएमसीजी, ऐसे करके। So in this entire sequence, I would like to do a quick, let's say, analysis and see कि कहाँ पे, कौन से सेक्टर पे, एक let's say वीकली चार्ट्स पे, डेली चार्ट पे बात नहीं करेंगे, वीकली चार्ट्स पे कहीं पे सपोर्ट मिल सकता है। बैंक निफ्टी देखिए, इट्स अ प्रीटी स्ट्रॉन्ग चार्ट, होल्डिंग वेल। बैंक निफ्टी is giving me a bit of a divergence on the weekly charts. Private banks is giving me a bit of a divergence. Sorry, this is CNX Finance. Private banks is giving me a bit of a divergence on my weekly charts. अगर levels का बात करें, then these kind of charts can see a retest of its previous lows, which is these levels. देखते हैं. All depends. This is the weekly chart. By the way, this is the weekly chart I'm showing you. If ये अगर webinar हम कर लेते, it would have, मेरा जो statement होने वाला है, it would have been solid. एक दिन बाकी है. But if tomorrow's close looks like this, कल के क्लोज के बाद अगर ये चार्ट ऐसे ही दिखे, then प्लीज याद रखिएगा कि वीकली लो अगर टूटता है, then ये लो आने का चांस बहुत हाई है. In short, if next week you see a break of these lows, then the possibility of these is very, very high on the downside. In terms of the sectoral, IT, I like the chart, the strength of the chart, IT, FMCG, even I would say pharma, metal has given a fresh breakout, consumer durables. These are brilliant charts. Charts which are kind of slowing down. There are slant divergences. Energy में slant divergence है. Auto में slant divergence है. Reality हो सकता है एक range bound behavior create करे, maybe a double topish behavior. What I see in front of me right now, honestly, it's very difficult to figure out where are the supports. None of these charts are that weak. None of the charts are that weak. ये weekly charts है, ठीक है? तो सोचिए अगर हम लोग एक linear regression chart, regression channel plot करते हैं, ओके? और सोचिए इस regression channel को मैं 52 week regression बना देता हूँ. Make sense? 52 weeks regression. I don't like all these lines and all those drama. Lines हटाइए. This is too dark. This is fine. This is also fine. ये रहा 52 week regression line, linear regression. All that we want to see is what is the slope of the linear regression line. It's like a long-term indication. It's an indication of the long-term trend of the market. देखिए, मतलब ऐसे charts पे the trends are still so intact कि how can we take a call on going short or taking a call on negativity? As a technical trader who takes decision based on price, जब तक price बिगड़ता ही नहीं है, तब तक हम कैसे मार्केट को वीक बोलेंगे? A contrarian trader जो ऊपर के भाव में बेचना चाहता है, contrarian trader, उसके लिए I would suggest energy, उसके लिए I will suggest auto, उसके लिए I would suggest you can keep an eye on maybe pharma because the Heiken-Ashi is singing a different tune. Apart from that, most of the charts are positive. Most of the charts are very, very positive, right? So if you are a long only cash trader, you should be more or less confident. As of now, don't lose your sleep. Don't get scared. डरने का क्या है? All that you will lose is a little bit of a money, right? That too notional money if you're not booking out. So do not sweat so much. Okay, keep calm, do your homework, stick to your rules, and ज़्यादा सर पे मत चढ़ाइए इस portfolio. So find the best stocks. My suggestion would be, if you're relatively new, stick to the first, begin with the top 24 names that makes up Nifty. अगर आपको large cap quality stocks long term portfolio बनाना है ETF के बाद, index funds के बाद, then I would suggest you come to the top 24 names. If when you come to the top 24 names over here, I have seen, according to today's fall, Larsen has fallen the most. इनके सबके वीकली चार्ट्स पे जाइए और चेक कीजिए वेयर आर द इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रैक्टल लोज. अगर आपको फ्रैक्टल लोज के बारे में पता नहीं है, प्लीज मेरा वीडियो एक बार चेक कर लीजिए. कल ही मैंने अपलोड किया था फ्रैक्टल्स बोल के. यू कैन जस्ट गो टू यूट्यूब, टाइप अभिजीत पॉल फ्रैक्टल्स, एंड इस चार्ट पे ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लेवल है 3200. लार्सन लिख के रखिए कहीं पे, लार्सन 3200. और अगर 3200 आपका लेवल निकल के आता है ना, तो लिख तो 3300 पे एक अलर्ट लगा दीजिए कि जब 3300 तोड़ेगा, ट्रेडिंग व्यू आपको अलर्ट देगा, यार लार्सन 3300 तोड़ रहा है, आपका लेवल 3200 है, ध्यान रखिए. Axis Bank, when it comes to the private sector banks, most of these charts will be brilliant. Couple of levels which I like is this zone, not even this zone, because it can, if this breaks, it's easily going to come down. Tata models, जो मैं यहाँ आपके सामने कर रहा हूँ, the fractals, you will be very easily be able to do it if you've seen how I've explained fractals. Tata models, the possibility of a retest of 880 is very, very high. Little further down. Reliance, दिल तोड़ दिया स्टॉक ने, बिल्कुल. पता है क्यों? Because we in our, हमारे जो शॉर्ट टर्म मोमेंटम ट्रेडिंग प्रोग्राम है, जहाँ पे हम लोग लाइव क्लासेस लेते हैं, मार्केट डिस्कस करते हैं, यहाँ पे अपने को लॉन्ग मिला था, एक लॉन्ग सेटअप मिला था ये, और भाई साहब बहुत अच्छा चला भी था. ब्यूटीफुल मूव दिस डे, beautiful, almost a 2%, 2 to 2.2% kind of, and then it was one hell of a breakout failure. In fact, breakout हुआ ही नहीं, breakout होने के पहले ही फेल हो. Nevertheless, Reliance is a very important stock. Again, I think this, इसको आपको इग्नोर करना पड़ेगा, जून के लोज को. This one. So get some levels drawn, do some work on anchored VWAP, volume profile, Fibonacci, whatever जो भी आप इस्तेमाल करते हो to find out support. मैं क्या करता हूं, मैं anchored VWAP यूज करता हूं, मैं सिलेक्टिव एंकर्ड वीवैप यूज करता हूं. एग्जैक्टली कौन से लो से लेना है, हर एक लो से मैं एंकर्ड वीवैप पागल की तरह ड्रॉप नहीं करता. उसी लोस के साथ मैं वॉल्यूम प्रोफाइल भी ड्रॉप करता हूं, जो आपके सामने मैं इस रिलायंस के वीकली चार्ट पे कर रहा हूं. इससे आपको एक मोर और लेस अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि रिलायंस का वॉल्यूम एट प्राइस मेनली यहाँ पे हुआ था, उसके बाद यार उतना वॉल्यूम तो कहीं नहीं हुआ है. So if Reliance comes down, we can get some really interesting levels on the downside. सबसे important, polarity, previous highs and lows को mark करके रखिए. For Reliance, the previous meaningful highs was this, almost this, almost this. Get your weekly charts ready ऐसे, और फिर एक अलर्ट लगा दीजिए. If you ask me, Reliance का मैं अलर्ट लगाऊंगा 2750, और फिर मैं देखना चाहूंगा कहां तक आ रहा है वो. And if I find a good level, I would add 1/3 quantity. 1/3 से ज़्यादा ऐड नहीं करूंगा. Depending on the market dynamics, the entire discussion we are having today evening can go for a toss if the market bounces back 1000 points in the next 3 days. Market back to an all-time high. क्या सर लॉन्ग टर्म सपोर्ट्स, बाजार जल्दी ऊपर चला जाता है, आप ये सब अपने लिए बचा के रखिए. करेक्ट? यस, करेक्ट. बट अब जो हमारे सामने दिख रहा है, अपने को वैसे ही प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा. अब जो दिख रहा है, based on that, you and I, rather than predicting, have to prepare. So please prepare your charts, prepare your actions, prepare your quantity, allocate some capital, and wait. If the market bounces back in a hurry, like it has done in the recent past, many times it has done so, अगर repeat telecast होता है उस चीज का, back to selective buying, we were selectively bullish. We will continue to be selectively bullish. All right, I've said a lot. Now let's me quickly take a look at few questions if you have in the chat box, and we can, you know, make some sense out of this interaction. As we noticed today, corrections. So we plan to. So this is Ritik. As we noticed today, correction less dent on metal sector. So we plan to find stocks when market turn. Yes, why not? In copper, Tata Steel, SAIL, Nalco, Hindalco, they are relatively strong charts. Ritik, we saw that none of the sectoral charts have bent down, right? So in this kind of a market, yes, go with the strength. In fact, in any kind of market, stay with the strong sector, strong stock. कैपिटल को 3 पार्ट में बांटने वाला, दिस इज जयदीप. सोचिए, आपको रिलायंस अच्छा लगता है, या रिलायंस अच्छा करेक्शन दिया, नीचे के भाव में खरीदेंगे. सोचिए आपको, लेट्स से, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल, लेट्स से आपको 20,000 का रिलायंस खरीदना है, या 2 लाख का रिलायंस खरीदना है, या 2 करोड़ का रिलायंस खरीदना है, वॉट एवर इज द कैपिटल. उसको आप 2 या 3 भाग में तोड़ दीजिए. जो आपका पहला लेवल है आइडेंटिफाइड किया हुआ, उस पे आप 1/3 खरीदिए और देखिए कि आपने जो लेवल सोचा कि निफ्टी रिलायंस का यहाँ पे सपोर्ट हो सकता है, क्या वो रियली वहां पे हुआ? क्या रिलायंस वहां से बाउंस बैक दिया या नहीं? हो सकता है ना दे, हो सकता है वो और नीचे आए, तो आपको थोड़ा और जगह मिलेगा ऐड करने का. नाउ प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, दिस इज ओनली फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म कैश पोर्टफोलियो बाय एंड होल्ड काइंड ऑफ मॉडल, नॉट मोमेंटम ट्रेडिंग. प्लीज कंफ्यूज मत होइएगा. There is a trading portfolio, there is a trading mentality, there is an investment portfolio, buy and hold. It requires a different mentality. Trading mentality, buy strength, sell weakness. Trading mentality वो आज के तारीख में बोलेगा बेचो बेचो बेचो, because everything is on the downside. Investment mentality बोलेगा अरे सब कुछ सस्ता हो रहा है, खरीद दो. So please एकदम sorted रहिएगा, ठीक है? Don't get carried away. Mix मत कीजिएगा दोनों. Vinit, your statement is too good to be true, but thanks for the compliment. Please share the ETF list which can be bought at the time of correction. Please go to nseindia.com. Rashmi, you will find the ETF list there. I think I had worked a video on this also in my YouTube channel. I think मैंने इस पे एक वीडियो भी बनाया था. If not, I'll remake it. Stick to index ETFs. Of course, most of them are index ETFs. They are theme based. Stick to Nifty Bs, Bank Bs, IT Bs, Pharma Bs, Gold Bs, Silver Bs. A lot of Bs there. Nippon does the maximum volume in this market in the ETF domain. So just look around. How to be a swing trader? You need a proper setup. You need a proper rule. You need a proper method. You're a swing trader. Now that method, that rule has to be in line with swing trading. ऐसा ना हो जाए कि आपका method और rule is in line with long-term investment. ऐसा ना हो जाए कि आपका method and rule is in line with intraday volatility breakout trades. So you have to just, create a setup for yourself. Okay, so Robin is sharing some levels. It has a hidden divergence there. That's good. Can averaging of stocks done if Nifty touches 25,000? Now, averaging per se is not a good idea if you're a trader, but averaging, if not averaging, let's say buying at lower levels, if you're a buy and hold, let's say aapko wo sauda, it's not a sauda, it's not a trade, it's an investment, it's a buy and hold. Let's say Nifty Bs or an index fund. You're not never going to trade an index fund. You're going to accumulate the index. Then averaging out or buying at lower levels is okay. But you're stuck in a trade or aap loss pe baithe ho. It's a trade, it's a sauda, it's not an investment. Then don't average. Try and understand the difference. Are you averaging a trade or are you averaging a position or an investment which is buy and hold for you, which you will never sell, never liquidate. So please sort your priorities. Okay, I'll take a couple of questions more. So I have two EMAs here, Anil. One is a 5 EMA and the other one is a 13 EMA. I don't have any name of Indian ETF. As I said, Rashmi, just go to nsindia.com and the top panel search, just type ETF towards the bottom. You'll find ETF. You'll find a list of ETFs. It's not that difficult. What precautions to take for selecting stocks, mid caps particularly? Precautions kyun? Means you're not getting into a roller coaster ride, or are you? What are you scared of? Means precautions means what? I can say that what should I look for before I buy any mid cap stocks or any stocks? What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my weekly charts, monthly charts. I'm going to figure out some levels जिनको मैं expect करूंगा should act as supports. और जब वो stock उस level के आसपास आएगा and अगर वहां पे रुकता है selling, I will buy. Precautions for a trader is a stop loss. वरना तो सौदा तो गलत जाएगा. You cannot be afraid of going wrong. फिर Vimal, it's not going to work. You cannot be too cautious in the market. Most of the time things go wrong. ठीक है, जल्दी निकल जाना है for a trader. Try to, if you want me to give you a good answer, I would suggest try to stick to relatively stronger sectors. जिसमें जैसे for example आज सुबह in the first couple of hours मुझे cement stocks पे तेजी दिख रहा. Correct? So हो सकता है cements from here on can show relative strength. So stay with the strong sectors, stay with the strong stocks, stay with quality names. कुछ index stocks में पहले ध्यान दीजिए. Small cap हो सके इस market में accumulate करने का कोशिश मत कीजिएगा. So does that meaning squaring off of all position and sitting in cash? Not necessarily. You have to understand when you took the positions. अगर आप आज किसी positions में बैठे हो तो उस position का logic क्या था? Did it come with a stop loss trade? No, it's not a trade. It's an investment. Then wait. Then hold on to it and wait for some supports where you can probably look to add some. You means, how do I put this? Means itna bhi kuch nahi hua that you will sell entire position and sit on cash. No. देखिए, I always suggest in my classes that we have a trading portfolio, a trading mentality, a trading method, a trading setup. जहां पे green red होते रहता है. Then we have an investment portfolio, investor mindset, okay, a long-term portfolio wherein a lot of good quality stocks we would like to hold. This can be stocks, this can be mutual funds, this can be ETFs, this can be REITs, this can be InvITs, this can be fund of funds, can be a lot of things can be there. I will suggest you tonight that think like a fund, think like a mutual fund or an institution. वो कभी अपने होल्डिंग जो फैक्ट शीट जो उनके पोर्टफोलियो होते हैं वहां से वो जनरली किसी भी एक लार्ज कैप स्टॉक को जीरो नहीं करते. Have you ever seen an institution sitting on cash? You will not. What they will do, they will go underweight and overweight. They will go underweight and overweight. तो आप भी अपने पोर्टफोलियो जो आप बना रहे हो, you're creating something. It's not कि आपने खरीदा, बेच दिया, फिर से खरीदा, मतलब फिर से बनाया, फिर से बेच दिया. I find it very difficult. I find it very difficult is because we are creating a portfolio, and if few stocks in that portfolio goes up really well, then मैं उसको थोड़ा सा trim कर दूंगा. But I would not want to exit 100% from any good quality stock, and neither do I want to exit 100% from my entire portfolio, because आपको बनाते बनाते आगे जाके सोचिए आपने पूरा पोर्टफोलियो बेच दिया, फिर से in the future to make the portfolio, to build the portfolio, to rebuild the portfolio, it's very difficult. Not that easy. Right. काफी questions है. Why you choose 75-25 minute, Pinak? This requires me to make another video because there's mathematics to it. Very simple mathematics. There's maths and common sense. और कुछ नहीं है. It should be 375 minutes should be divisible. That's it. That's the answer. Okay, ETF definitely you can look at. Fall was unexpected and all strangeness has turned into weakness. Yes, this was quite unexpected. Yes, I will say I'll completely agree with you because my charts, the way I look at charts and read and share my weekly views with everyone openly, I did not find any signs that it will crack like this. As I said, दो किस्म के करेक्शंस होते हैं. एक करेक्शंस जो हम प्रीएम्प्ट कर सकते हैं कि चार्ट्स में कुछ है यार, हो सकता है गिर सकता है, और कुछ मूव्स होते हैं जो कि आउट ऑफ द ब्लू निकल के आते हैं. दिस इज आउट ऑफ द ब्लू. क्योंकि मैंने इसको प्रीएम्प्ट नहीं कर पाया, अब मुझे इस पे रिएक्ट करना पड़ेगा. आई हैव टू रिएक्ट टू इट. ओके, इसीलिए आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू. देखिए, हाउ डू आई पुट दिस, 4-5 days बैक अगर यहाँ पे मुझे कुछ बेयरिशनेस दिखता तो मैं एज अ फ्यूचर्स ट्रेडर आई वुड हैव गॉन शॉर्ट. आई वुड हैव सिट ऑन माय शॉर्ट्स. अपना माइंडसेट ही डिफरेंट होता. बिकॉज ये एक आउट ऑफ द ब्लू सेल ऑफ अचानक से हुआ. नाउ आई कैन नॉट हरी स्करी एंड स्टार्ट गोइंग शॉर्ट. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू दैट. आई एम गोइंग टू रिएक्ट टू इट. आई एम गोइंग टू वेट फॉर द पुल बैक. ठीक है. Quite a few questions, but more or less, I think I have been able to cover what I wanted to. That is to know two things from you. कि आपको क्या लगता है, has the market made a long-term top or not? The answer is as of now, no. Long-term charts अभी भी intact है. Things can go from little bad to worse to very bad as it progresses. I will try and come back to you and share my thoughts. But as of now, short-term top is in place. It has fallen sharp. Try not to sell right now. Wait for the pullback, because only if it goes up, pulls back, then only can it lead to further fall. Meaningful complex correction. Don't get scared. Please do not get scared. It's just a game of making money and losing money. Okay? You do not put it right on the pedestal, you just don't give it too much priority. It is important. Stick to your rules. If you're a trader, take a break. If you're not a trader, investor, I would suggest start doing some homework, find some good quality stocks. Look at Larsen, look at Reliance, look at Tata Motors. These are not bad names. You can find some good levels. You can start just nibbling there. Please understand, these are buy and hold. Look at ETFs. I personally love to add some ETFs when the market comes down like this. These, Bank Bs. There are many other ETFs which you will find interesting to add. If there's any other question, reach out to Team ELM. We have a wonderful support team. They'll be more than happy to forward your questions to me, and I'll take care of them and I'll reply back. As I told you just a few minutes back, I'm off the market, off the grid the entire next week. So in case if it's a little late for me to reply back to you, don't get angry. I'll definitely come back with my answer. Okay? Chaliye, thanks a lot everyone for joining in and giving me this 1 hour today evening, especially on a day when the market, it was all, all the Hindi songs which had the word Lal was coming back to my mind. And let's see how the market reacts tomorrow. And stay sorted, please. बाजार को अपना काम करने दीजिए और प्लीज आप अपने काम पे ध्यान दीजिए. All right, with this, I'll end the session. Thanks a lot again for joining in. Take care. God bless.